This is another episode of The Biggest Podcast.
The biggest.
To my right, to your left, we've got Dillon Warren in the house.
Super excited.
I don't know who's more excited. You're very excited.
Ecstatic.
But I'm so fucking excited because I think this is like the epitome of what One Bone is. And what has happened is Grand Prix 2022 in Montreal was happening, and you were in the streets, and we sent out, for the first time ever, a team to go and video people trying on One Bone, like just in the middle of the street.
I'm wearing a Walmart V-neck.
Yeah.
Double X, but it might be fitting like a large.
Classic. We've all been there.
Yes, sir.
So I wasn't there physically.
Yeah.
To meet you, to have this happen, and we got this incredible video of you putting on a tie-dye t-shirt by One Bone, and I mean, we're gonna splice in the video at this point so people can see it. But just take me back to that day and the experience that you had, and just how it all went down.
It's a super cool day. My best friend from Newfoundland's visiting. First time he's in a big city.
Yeah.
So we actually get off the metro just like 2 blocks down.
Yeah.
And we get out, and first thing he has to do is just pause, and he's like, holy crap.
Like,
skyscrapers.
big city.
Like, wow, like what if they fall? Da, da, da. And he's just shocked.
It's crazy. It's crazy to even hear that because you grow up around this stuff and you become like jaded, right? You become like, oh, this is just ordinary.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is going to be a good day. Like, my friend's here. He's experiencing something. This is going to be awesome. And I'm like, it's F1 weekend. There's a lot of people around. He's a little overwhelmed. He smokes cigarettes. He's like, man, I need a smoke. I'm like, yeah. So we sat back and we start walking up Crescent. And I was like, we're just below St. Cat's, and you see like the F1 crowd. And I was like, hey, man, let's just go. There's going to be cars there. You're going to love it. And we go, and the first thing we see is like a video kind of thing happening. And they're getting a guy to like change his shirt. And I'm stood up. So I thought it was just one guy doing it, and there was a camera or whatever. But I'm stood up to another One Bone member. I don't know who. And he's just like, your shirt doesn't fit that well. I'm like, no. Like,
it was probably Q at that point.
It might have been Q. But Q might have been doing the video. I don't really remember that part. And they were just like, you want to be next. And as I'm saying it, Q's hands in a bag. And he's like, this one's going to fit him. Rip the tag off. Because remember, I didn't remember my size. He ripped the full tag off.
Of course.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, do you know about One Bone? I was like, seen it on Instagram, da-da-da. He's like, put this shirt on.
When you seen it on Instagram, did you ever consider it? Did you ever even like really look at it?
I wasn't a follower.
Okay.
The ads would come up when you would do the orders and you'd personalize notes.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, these guys are cool. Always wanted to try a big boy shirt. There's lots out there. But clothes didn't fit me my entire life.
Of course.
My entire life. And I fluctuated by 100 pounds from high school to here or there. And some weekends I go up 10 pounds. Some weekends I go down 10 pounds, right? So I'm like, I never wanted to pull the trigger. And it wasn't even a price point. It's like, it's just going to be another shirt I get, put it through the washer once, boom, here's my belly. If you don't like it, get out. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it, whatever. And you guys, they were doing the thing called the gut check. So I throw it on, it feels good, nice material, da-da-da. When I put my hands in the air, I change as a human. I was like, holy shit, I feel comfortable.
And that's what you said on the video.
And I have my other shirt balled up in my pocket. We, shake hands out of that, boys, I'm stoked. And we'll walk up the rest of the block with my buddy. I was like, do you want this shirt? The one that was in my pocket? He's like, no. Trash. Wow. No looking back. That day, this happened around 1 p.m. Nothing could stop that guy this day.
Right?
I own downtown. It's F1 weekend. I'm walking around my One Bone, my Oakley shades, and it matched my sunglasses perfect. I felt so good that day that I was like, this is all I'm going to wear. And it was, you weren't there. And then I'm home about 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, scrolling the Instagram like we all do. You're chilling, you're kicking it. Holy shit. The video you guys just saw? Holy shit, there I am on Instagram. And then I start bumping into people. Hey, are you the One Bone guy? Blah, blah, blah. And no, long story short, from there, momentum took over. I've never been more comfortable. And
so that brings us to the next kind of encounter that you had with One Bone. And I want to I want to bring it up because you and I have already gotten a little deep between one another.
I've lived a life.
This is actually only the second time we're with one another.
Crazy, blows my mind.
Don't you feel like we've been like best friends for like 50 years?
I'd say 60.
Yeah. We're both in our 30s.
Previous life, yeah. At 29, you know, 20, anyone after 29, almost 30.
So now let me give you my perspective.
Yes.
The boys come back with amazing content. Guys trying on their shirts. One stands out in particular, this one. And it was so sincere. It was like, my life changed. Yeah. Boom, life changed. And now being able to hear the story and connect it to that video is just amazing for us.
Another cool point.
Oh my God.
The friend who was visiting.
Yeah.
First time in Montreal. Was also the friend who I told you since the 6 months he put on 50 pounds.
Wait. Save it.
Okay, brother. Yes, sir.
So, okay, because let's go in
chronological
order.
Yeah. I'm just too excited.
Yeah, I feel you. So, okay, so I'm checking out the video. Boom, we put it together as an ad. We're running it as an ad. If you know anything about digital marketing and social media, the more engagement an ad does, the better it does, the more hopefully t-shirts we could sell at One Bone, and the more people we could help become more comfortable and confident on a day-to-day basis.
100%.
So your ad is performing like crazy.
Millions of views.
And
I'm like an A-list.
and we chatted back and forth a couple of times. You are an athletic trainer.
Yes, athletic therapist.
Athletic therapist.
Yeah, no big deal.
I'd rather get it right.
Oh, man.
And we're messaging back and forth. The intention was for you to come.
Yeah.
You never were able to come. And then we get some DMs.
Yeah, we did.
Deep at night.
You did.
In a little bit of darkness.
Darkest days.
And it was like, hey man, like you got to roll through, because you were basically sending messages saying like, hey man, like millions of people are seeing my ads. I don't even have another shirt other than this.
Exactly.
And it was like,
and I got a burn hole in the other one. I'm just holding. I'm wearing this shirt every time I go out. Everyone's like, who's this tie-dye guy? Does he have any other clothes? Like, come on.
It's the shirt.
Yeah.
And so you hit us with the DMs, and I'm like, bro, you have to come see us immediately.
Yeah.
Because again, a bunch of misconnections, and then you came the next day or the week after.
I think I sent them at 3 a.m. The next afternoon we speak, and then I come the day after. So it's like 36 hours. And
so
essentially the DMs, I was going through a point where I was not feeling the most loved.
Well, no, listen, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because then you show up at our warehouse.
Yep.
And we're going through all of our renovations, and we're clean slating it up.
Yeah.
And it was, again, like we spoke about how it feels as though we've been friends for 50, 60 years. You opened up on that day.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon for our community to just open up with us, because there's just this level of trust.
Yeah.
There's this level of understanding. There's this level of like, bro, we've been through some of the same shit.
But you greeted me with a hug. I don't know if they see it, but I felt like I was kind of looking in the mirror a little bit too.
Yeah.
And like you say, it felt like we knew each other forever.
Yeah.
And I came in, I didn't have any reason to open up, but you were there.
Yeah.
And it was at a moment where I needed someone to have a chat with.
So tell me about what happened.
Yeah. So
yeah,
basically it's a breakup. I only have one girlfriend, like long term, committed with someone.
Same. And I am married with 2 kids.
My story changes.
That's the outcome that I don't know what your take is on it now, but that was the outcome that you were
100%. So I was ready to move forward. But I took a job in pro sports, and when you're pro sports, you're absent.
Yeah.
And essentially I had a plan that I was going to go work my dream for a couple years, and I didn't think it would get in the way, but it really did.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I'm giving her what she deserves. Like, I wasn't there, and the communication wasn't there to realize that until it got to a point where it was
Too late.
It's like long distance. I want to move on. I want to go find myself. But I'm with this the night before. I had a ring. You know, I was, good night, I love you. And the next day, it's like, you know, it was a 2-3 week process.
Yeah.
But I never thought that would change in my life. I mean, life's the only
you just think you're
constant
going
in life has changed, right?
Yeah.
And I really seen a future with her. But I'm going to give myself benefit of the doubt now, 5-6 months later. I only knew one relationship, and I was comfortable. And she's a great girl.
Yeah.
And as we got older, there was less things that we were compatible with. Mm-hmm. And this is me speaking now. Yeah. When I first meet Adam, I ain't speaking like this.
Yeah, of course.
I was upset. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I'm an emotional guy.
More than that.
Yeah. And my purpose every day is to try to spread love. And when it don't come back, shit fucking hurts, right?
Stings.
But I have the best support system. I have a guy sitting right there.
Yeah.
And great family.
Yeah.
And people just allowed me to pick up that phone, call them, and go through it. People allowed me to send DMs. Y'all don't love me. And then come through and be there for me.
Yeah.
So the lessons I learned is maybe not put all your eggs in one basket, but you can dream and picture life however you want it to be. But ultimately, you just got to wake up every day and live.
Yeah.
And you got to be comfortable with who you are as yourself. And, you know, I went through the full, she left just because don't think we're compatible. There was no cheating, none of the stuff that people break up, divorce about all the time. Just didn't want to marry me, not the one. So it was hard not having a reason. So I started blaming myself. I started being like, is it my weight?
And
is it my this? Is it my job?
And even for you, she is so clearly the one for you.
Yeah, 100%.
So crazy.
But after rebuilding myself,
yeah,
I don't know if I believe in the one. I think there's multiple compatible people.
Right.
And people are in your life for short chapters. People are in your life for long chapters.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, still had 8 wonderful years, but that's where we met. That was the sad boy who came into One Bone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's over. It's 6 months. Some days it bothers, and some days it doesn't. And yeah, the biggest part was, like I said, is I try to spread love every day, and then you know. And I also am not the best for doing things 100% for myself. And a relationship is for myself, so that's where
I think that's a super relatable thing. I think especially if you are focused on your career, or you're focused on your family, or you're focused on a million different things, and then the last person that gets it is yourself.
Yeah.
You neglect yourself, and this is the thing that we're trying to uncover.
Yes.
Constantly. And I say we because I was trying personally, but we as a brand as well. And then way past that, we now have a community of people that are all trying to figure out this fucking thing called life. And
isn't it fun though?
It's
trying to figure it out.
You know, it is
ups and downs, but
man, it's ups and downs, and a lot of the times it's fun, but a lot of the times it gets very challenging and it gets very confusing.
But that's what I'm talking about, the fun, the
chaos.
The chaos. When you look back at it, the stuff you go through. But see, here I am not talking about myself anymore. I'm talking about you, right?
Well, because were you having fun?
Fuck no.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you when I did have fun though. When I walked out of One Bone that day with a brand new closet, I'm showing off downtown back on the market trying.
But and again, like so, and it comes back to like this thing that's so small, a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such a non-factor we think for so many, and yet
a t-shirt.
Yeah, a t-shirt.
We're sitting here because of a t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and on Crescent that day, there's 1,000 people, and the t-shirt finds this body,
exactly. Right? And so. Okay, so then you leave that day.
Yeah.
You come from your darkest, and then what does the next, I guess.
Something also that day is I was working pro sports at the time, and I brought one of the offensive tackles from the football team. And I brought one of the offensive tackles, and even him, just to get a shirt that fits, that's where I'm spreading the love again, right? I'm bringing someone with me. So that felt really, really good.
Yeah.
And then that day I leave. We have an away game that week, rocking One Bone for the flight. I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling proud. And I don't think I would have got there that fast if it wasn't. We had a good conversation though too. You spread the love, and then
Man,
I
we had
needed
a
the
great
time.
conversation.
Yeah.
And what I said was every loss is a win.
Yeah.
And rejection, at least based on my experience, and now we've shared stories with so many, but rejection and the answer of no is the thing that builds up to that ultimate achievement, that ultimate yes, that ultimate reward that you've been seeking. You know, that's the fun part of life.
Yeah.
If you have the right mindset, is all those no's, all those rejections, although in the moment become the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I go on? And then if you figure out a way to go on, and you figure out a way to get to the next day.
You're hitting me with something.
But and again, it's on the shirt you're wearing. One bone, one by one. It's brick by brick. 1B1 is one by one.
Yep.
It's day by day. It's not an overnight process. It takes time. And if you're able to build up the strength to go one by one, then if you do that for a full year, then that's 365 times you did one by ones, you know? So once you get there, it's like, okay, well now what's the yes? What's the achievement? What's the next goal? Or what's the next no that could...
So one thing I find crazy, as you said that it kind of hit me, is so ultimately I'm in this crazy career, and there could have been other reasons or whatever, but it seemed to be why I'm absent.
Yeah.
So the relationship ends, and you think, okay, what an opportunity to spend my full life in pro sports.
Right.
I go back and I go revisit everything, and ultimately, not re-signing the contract is not getting re-signed. But you'd think she leaves for that. I'm going to spend the next 25 years in pro sports.
Just committed.
But I want to just live life and have fun. And now
changing it up.
It's
amazing.
Yeah. I was going to say where I'm to, but I'll save my story. We'll get it out.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And the thing is, like, so this is the reintegration of the biggest podcast. You see, we are in a new version of a set, or if you're listening to the audio, then you don't see it, but you should go check it out on YouTube. But we are testing out these formats, these, sets, these conversations to see ultimately what we are trying to seek out of our community to be able to amplify our audience, because I listen to so many podcasts, I listen to so many stories, I watch so many YouTube videos, and I personally gain so much from hearing other people's experiences, hearing other people's no's, losses, wins, all of these things, because it shows you that you're not alone in going through what you're going through.
Never alone. Never.
Because somebody else has gone through it.
Yeah.
And B, it allows you to just like continuously build your foundation of tools that you could use on a day-to-day basis to go one by one, to keep waking up, to keep putting in the work, to keep trying to be a better business partner or friend or family member or dad or, whatever.
You're right. You got to be one by one, because when you picture it, you think you're going to be able to just change.
Yeah.
You think, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym for a month. I'm going to come out huge. Or I'm going to go read for a month and I'm going to know everything about this. But you need to break it down one step at a time.
That's
and just show up.
And so that's a great segue. You are an athletic therapist.
Yes, sir.
What you told me 5 or 6 months ago really resonated. And, now we have the gym behind us. And the plan is to be creating content for our community that I don't know if I'm speaking just for myself. I thought I was speaking for myself when I first custom made my own t-shirt because I couldn't find anything in the malls.
The t-shirt that changed my life.
Literally,
right?
Exactly. So I thought I was just solving that problem for myself, and that was it. And then my partners had the foresight to be like, no, well, there's other people like you that have this problem. We need to go deeper. And that's the way I feel with the fitness content, the mental health content, the physical health content, all of these things, all these conversations where it's a little bit selfish for me, because I'm like, I need to try and figure out these things. And then it becomes selfless because I realized there's a community of guys just like myself, or people just like myself, that need to try and figure these things out. So you are an athletic therapist.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your body, because you got a whole bag of tricks.
It's a beautiful body.
It is a gorgeous body.
All 328 pounds of it.
Gorgeous.
Twisted.
We're actually pretty much close in the same weight.
Twisted steel sex appeal, likewise. So
Twisted steel sex.
Oh yeah. You know, that's how I rolled my life.
That's amazing.
And it's like I got washboard abs. Just left the laundry on them. That's all we can do, right?
Yes.
So I'm from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it has. You know, it has less resources.
Right.
Born as a kid, normal, whatever. I got my hips checked. Little spoiler.
Yeah.
I grew up playing multiple sports, just running around in the woods.
Yeah.
Small town Newfoundland, played a lot of road hockey. Would always pull my groin.
Yeah.
The fair would come through. Bouncy castle.
Right.
On it all day. The next day, I can't walk. I'll never forget this one family vacation. I'm probably like, I'd say I'm 13. I have an older sister. Love her to death, Heather. God,
Yeah.
love her. But we're going to Massachusetts. I can't know if I said that right.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure you said that wrong.
I said it wrong. If I'm in the Northeast, I'm just worried about Newfoundland.
100%.
So she's like, we're going to Six Flags. Like, I don't care.
Right.
The fair's in town in Deer Lake, Newfoundland, where we go. I go to jumping castles. Next day, we get on the flight. I'm like, fuck, I can't walk. I can't move. She's upset. We don't get to go to Six Flags. So, so my life, my hips always act up. Funny enough, my dad never allowed a trampoline and never allowed Heelys. Remember when Heelys were a thing?
I always wanted to wear
Because
Heelys.
they'd be bad on your hips.
Right.
This is where you start figuring out the world.
Right.
So,
With Heelys.
right?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's more
No
so
way.
that my dad's worried as his kid's hips, right? So I graduated high school. I'm 3'12", 3'18", hefty boy. Just finished playing hockey.
Husky,
Strong.
as we were
Husky.
called.
That's, I don't know. I used to get kids' jeans and I have husky size.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Just men's size.
Men's size for boys.
Right.
Yeah.
So I lose, in a year, I lose 90 pounds. So happy.
Yeah.
You lose that, you think your knees, your hips, everything are going to be better, right?
Nothing.
So I start trying. No, I start playing like soccer. I never played soccer much before.
Organized
Let
running.
me go. So I play soccer.
Yeah.
And when I kicked the ball one day, excruciating pain.
Oh my God.
Excruciating pain. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Don't know what's going on. Swear, 18 plus.
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, we're good. We're good. I think we've sworn already a couple of times. I don't even know.
I don't know if we did.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my mother, God love her. So I'm actually home. Was I moved to Montreal at the time? Might have been my first summer back.
Okay.
So I'm 20, 21, 19. I don't know the exact age there.
Yeah.
And I'm running like this kids camp in my community. So I have like 8 employees under me. Kids are
Killing it.
I can't walk. It's a sports camp. It's
Yeah.
tough. So my mom, she drives me down to the hospital because like the pain's excruciating. I'm like, I can't move, can't roll over. A guy, sensitive area, testicle, whatever,
Yeah.
don't know, deep, deep pain.
Yeah.
I go down, they can't figure it out. So it's blood test, MRI. They're
Yeah,
trying to make sure it's
the
not
full gamut.
Trying to make sure it's not dislocated or whatever.
Right.
Hey, you're good to go home. Here's some pills because they love just giving you pills instead of
Throw
exercise.
some
or
pills
something.
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to later. They ended up ruining my gut later in life.
Oh my God.
So I get home, pills are helping take the pain away. I'm trying to work these kids, but I can't swim or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I was also a lifeguard. Swimming would always mess up my hips.
Right.
So then I get a call. Hey, Dillon, your results came in. You have to come in Friday to see them. This is a Wednesday. You know damn well if you got to go in, you got to go in.
Yeah. But also your whole life has fallen out from under you for 2 full days.
I'm a 20-year-old being like, do I have testicular cancer? Do I have this? Do I have that?
Right.
Your brain does that,
of
right?
Of course. You start to go on the journey.
I get in this waiting room, the only person under the age of 70. Literally, one of the guys I played hockey with, his grandfather's there. That's why I'm chatting with him. I'm like, this is messed up. And I walk into a doctor's office, old orthopedic surgeon, no time for feelings, whatever. And he's like, you did it this far, you're not going to run, you're not going to jump, whatever. You have acetabular hip dysplasia. Essentially, you have no socket in your hips. You never had it. You've just been grinding on it. Have a good day. I sat there and then What? I start crying or whatever. My mom's not even, I'm 19, 20. I'm like thinking testicle. I'm like, oh, mother, you're going to chill out of this one. So then this resident doctor, whatever, this younger girl comes in. She explains it much more. But I'm just shocked.
Yeah.
Like there's like a little bit of water, but I'm not crying. I'm shocked. Of course. I'm shocked. And I'm a little bit of a jokester. And the first thing I said to Mom, I said, Mom, I guess Shakira was fucking wrong because these hips do lie.
They fucking lied to me my whole life.
And then me and her, we played the song, we get back home. But then I ended up ultimately like lying on the couch a little bit and studying like what hip dysplasia is. And then I started using it to my advantage. And I was like, you know what? So many people have this. They hobble. They can't walk right. They can't run. They can't play hockey.
Right.
I played hockey my entire life. I've reffed hockey. Usually, they can't go on jumping castles and trampolines. It hurt me. Yeah, I got to do it.
You did it, yeah.
So I found out much later, and it was like third stage osteoarthritis, whatever, 20 years old. Let's get those hips replaced. At the time, I am at Concordia because I'm doing exercise science. Don't know if I want to do athletic therapy or clinical exercise physiology.
So this is where you're making a decision.
Lit on my couch, upset, taking whatever these little painkillers are, trying to work. And my mom is good at just comforting, so she just allowed me like to chill on the couch a little bit, be upset. Best friends.
Right.
Like hip dysplasia is what dogs get.
Yeah.
One of my best friend's dads, he's like, well, I guess we're going to put you down when you get your shot. So we like started turning into like a joke and fun things. And my buddies would come over and be like, hey, you doing, grandfather? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Let's study athletic therapy. Oh, we're going to get your hips replaced maybe at 22. Meet a younger orthopedic surgeon, second opinion. He's like, we can get you to 25.
Right.
Now 29, turning 30. Didn't get them replaced. Studied athletic therapy. Studied how to treat my hips. Met people who could just understand that I'm not normal. I mean, if you see me walk, I wobble through my back. Like the hips don't have much range of motion.
Yeah.
But it was crazy my whole life of pulling my groin and people just being like, rub dirt on it or like just keep going, run around, do whatever. And then to find that later, but it's one of those, I mean, I have hip dysplasia. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool in the fact that I didn't know. Because I didn't know, I got to live that normal, and I think that ultimately allows me to keep running around. Like,
yeah.
When I was working pro sports, like I go down, I'd run out on the side, I'm running out on the field, and I'm in Facebook groups, and people aren't even walking, and people are on their second, third hip replacements, and
so you never had a hip replacement?
Not yet.
Are you going to?
When the time's right.
Right.
And it's going to be a cool story because I'm a becoming. Oh, he's over there, huh?
Yeah.
He's probably saying no hip replacement.
Yeah, he's saying no hip replacement.
Because this guy over here,
yeah,
he's the one who's like going to get strong as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm lifting the John Deere tractors.
Exactly.
So I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
If I could just get the arms and everything strong as fuck, we'd be chilling. But
hey, we're getting there.
But I'm only going to get it when the time's right. And for me, the time's right is when I'm in that second stage of life. Right. Because they don't last. You do have to get like pieces rechanged. And I've learned a lot of lessons we already talked about. I learned life's hard. So yeah, I got a little bit of pain, but put the head down, keep going. Some days it's hard. Yeah, Friday, the temperature goes super cold, icy up there.
That was crazy.
It acted up.
Right.
I go home and I deal with it. Some days, it sucks when I'm trying to hang out with girls and they want to go for a walk or a hike. I'm like, I like hiking, but
I don't have hips.
Yeah, we're not doing anything fun later. It's like, what do you mean anything fun? It's like,
it's either
I'm talking about sex.
it's either the climb or the time. You know, like that's funny.
And so I dealt with my resource. The one thing I really want to do though is I want to get involved with that community more.
Yeah,
because it's a very sad community. So many people who gave up, and I wish I was able to share the story of like, not only do I have hip dysplasia, I'm over 300 pounds without hips. If I can do it, like you can really just get off that couch. But hip dysplasia, no hips. They do lie.
They do lie.
Shakira, it's okay. We're good.
Sweetheart, Shakira.
Your legs, your hips are nice.
Again, like somebody's gonna watch this and or hear this and have been going through something probably for their whole life and not even maybe had the realization that something was wrong.
100%.
You know? And so, again, like that is the perfect segue to what we are trying to do and trying to, again, have these conversations with people, express certain triumphs and struggles and wins that people have had so that people can know that, again, they're not alone. They're not going through it solo. There are potentially resources out there. And we are, I mean, not specifically for hip dysplasia, but like we are trying to become a resource again that is trying to figure out the physical and mental health of us, of people. And it comes back to One Bone being the first ever size inclusive, big and tall brand.
Yeah.
Our vision is to speak to our community first, make sure that we are fitting and we are comfortable and confident on our daily basis, and include as many people as we can.
100%.
That, you know?
And that's a good point. Like I want to make is there's someone out here watching this right now. You have aches and pains, and that's okay. We all do. No one's that Instagram perfect fit person when you're in a shopping mall or in a Walmart.
Yeah.
So you just got to make the steps you need to do to perform.
Yeah.
And by perform is just what do you want your daily tasks to be, and let's try to get them pain free. Like
that's it.
I know I ain't making the NBA or NHL or NFL now.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Although that would be really cool. Like,
yeah, you know what? You know what I mean? I'm gonna make the NHL.
So there's one thing that we haven't touched on.
Yeah.
We teased it. I've been in radio for a long time, and if we teased it and we didn't talk about it, we got a big problem.
Yep.
So your buddy.
Yes.
You went to F1.
Yes.
You put on the T-shirt.
Yes.
It was your story.
100%.
And now?
But he's also first time coming up here from Newfoundland, seeing with the pro sports. So he's like, wow, my best friend's famous in Montreal.
Right.
Like, who would have thought?
Right.
But he's like, man, I want a shirt, but I'm too skinny. My friend, me and him were the two big boys in high school.
Okay.
He's went from the 350 down to the 220.
I have the same buddy that and I'm still.
But you know what? We're always opposite.
I know.
We always just flip, so we kind of trade clothes back and forth.
Oh, really?
So we're at F1. He's actually wearing one of my old size large American Eagle V-necks or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, bro, they don't have clothes for you. It's big boy season. That's what I'm saying all the time. Big boy season, right?
You said it before SZA said it.
Oh, yeah, way before.
100%.
And once I was back on the market, I knew it was big boy season.
Exactly.
So he's up visiting Montreal. It's a full experience. We tied one on that night. The biggest bar tab. But it was just because he's visiting, so it's a full thing.
You got to show him.
But ultimately, he's just like, man, I wish I would have got that free shirt. Like, that's cool, whatever.
Oh, man, he should have got one too.
But yeah, I don't think the negatives were around.
Okay.
So he's like thin. So he's almost under 200 pounds for the first time since the age of 10.
Wow.
He's 202 when he visits me in Montreal.
202.
It's the lowest he got. Hanging out with me in Montreal. So I go home Christmas time during the holidays, but I haven't seen him since what changed in my life. When he was visiting me was in June. What happened earlier, it was in end of August, September. So we're just chatting on the phone. We're not FaceTime boys or whatever. And the 23rd of December is a big day in Newfoundland. It's for hanging out with your friends before you go hang out with your family.
You were saying it's called?
Tibbs Eve.
Tibbs Eve.
Tibbs Eve. Yeah. It's just good time.
Yeah.
So I go to his house. He's like, I need help bringing in wood. Oh, fuck, of course. You want me to do hard work?
Classic Newfoundland.
Yeah. You want me to do hard work? We don't even have beer yet? We got to get it after the wood? Okay. Yeah, classic Newfoundland.
Yeah.
We chop a bunch of wood or whatever. But he's wearing his winter jacket or whatever. And when we go inside, he takes it off. I don't say anything. He looks at it right away. And he's like, bro, put my weight back on. And he started like tear up a little bit. And he's just threw away all of his big boy shit. The first time we lose weight, brother, we're never getting big again. Yeah. I'm never getting big.
And then you get big again.
All the nice shirts I gave away.
And then you get big again, and you're like, oh, I need to buy new clothes. And then you get smaller again, and you're like, okay, well, maybe let's put these in the back of the closet for later, just in case.
Oh, you've seen the clothes I got piled up from years. Yeah. But he puts his weight back on. So like this, I brought home literally large shirts for him from my closet. And they don't fit him anymore. No big deal. And he don't want to go out. The gut, the belly.
Yeah.
You don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
On the way out, let's swing by my house.
Oh my God.
He finally gets a One Bone, brother.
How good did he?
I got to see myself. He was like, bro, this was me in June. I knew how he felt inside.
Right.
When he's looking in the mirror, he throws the arms up. No gut. Just twisted steel, baby. That's it. And it only clicked when we spoke about it today, how that came full circle, that it was the same friend who was with me F1 weekend.
It's crazy.
Becky, I love you, brother.
Love you too, brother.
Yeah.
He's good people.
The third friend from our past life? Yeah, 100%.
I remember. We were chilling 70 years ago.
But it only clicked as we spoke about it here today where here I am in Newfoundland, home for the holidays, and what's with me? One bone. It's community. Crazy. The community's there.
The community is there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I forgot it was the same guy who I brought down on that crescent. He was just shocked at skyscrapers.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so, man, like.
The 2 was a little big on him, but he still loved it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
At least he felt good. But what I'm saying is like the unique opportunity that we have, being an e-commerce brand in 2023, and to be able to share these experiences with, again, like, you know, people who are our customers, but have become so much more than that. It's crazy. And just to be exposing these stories, this is what the biggest podcast is for, is to hear from people, hear their stories, hear their experiences, and take it one by one. Dill, I fucking love you. What
love
could
you
I
too,
say?
brother.
Thank you for guinea pigging this podcast set.
I'll be back.
The next time you're back, it will be different. We are building it up. These are temporary couches. This is, you know, like, we're gonna keep going with it.
I'll let you get some more layers off the onion too. We got some cool stories.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll dive back in. You're rocking a Michael right now.
I am.
You say it's your going out shirt.
Michael is my favorite. Even like people see me and Michael. This is my mother loves me.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if you can see these blue eyes, but you know what I'm saying. What's up, ladies?
Yeah. I'm rocking the EDPs, which is like basically a sweatpant that's a bit more tapered, so it doesn't look like you're wearing those like big, you know, athletic style sweatpants. I got a high-low underneath. I got a tie-dye scoop hoodie. Tell me.
Lost my luggage.
Yeah.
But so in the luggage, there was a bunch of ceramic, and the ceramic got in the material, and then it just
so it's done.
It's done.
Yeah. So,
That's the best piece. I like the Michael.
I may have to take this off my back and give it to you, honestly.
There's new colors.
Yeah. Are you active on social media in any way, shape, or form? Okay.
So my handle on Instagram is @AT_Dill, athletic therapist Dill.
Amazing.
That's pretty much it. I also sports med clinic.
Yes.
So DNA Sports Therapy and Wellness.
Cool.
Check that out on Instagram.
And what's your website there?
DNAsportstherapy.ca.
Cool.
Correct? Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, amazing. So that's incredible. You know where we are. We're onebone.com, @onebonebrand on all socials. Thank you for chilling with us.
Oh.
We hope you feel less alone today because of this conversation. And if you didn't feel alone today, we hope you had a good time hanging out with a couple of boys for a couple of minutes, you know?
And if you have it in you, go spread some love.
I don't need to say anything more. Peace.
Biggest.